Hello, everyone. I'm assuming that you guys are going to catch the replay because I really didn't get a chance to let anyone know that I was going to come live. I was debating if I wanted to come live today, and it's very late for me. It's probably 11:45 p.m. And I decided that I wanted to come live because this week I am going to be super busy with the work that I do over at the youth agency. The registration is going to be opened this Tuesday. I have the fall accelerator program that is starting, so I have to prepare everything for this program, and it's really keeping me busy. So I had the information, and I am going to have about two videos for the consulting page. I do apologize if I feel like your work is lagging a little bit, but it's just because I'm juggling a lot. I'm juggling the youth agency, I'm juggling clients, I'm juggling you guys. It's a lot, but we're gonna get it done. It was really important. I did say that, I believe that in the last live that we did, I told you guys that I was going to take a little break and I was going to come back in the month of September. And I said to you that unless something else came up, you would see me in September. We are today, August 25th. Well, it was important for me to come because, Kamala Harris is officially the running opponent for the US election. And I could see the entire clique of the Democratic parties were, celebrating her presidency, or, the nomination. And you had Bill Clinton, you had Hillary Clinton, you had Barack Hussein Obama, all of them, they were there at the Democratic convention. And I do have a couple of people who attended as well. And I'm looking at the elections, and I think I said so to you the last time. Those of us who understands the games, and those of us who not only understand that, but who knows the behind the scene of these political sham. I mean, we have to do what we have to do. So this week, I am definitely going to put in the work for my candidate number 47, um, our guy Donald Trump. It's just so crucial and so important. Now, why am I going to come here, and what is the information that I'm bringing forth for you tonight? For tonight, the information that I'm bringing forth for you, this is mainly those lies because it's the US election. I just really want people to understand that. Although you guys are definitely going to benefit from the information that I'm putting out, but this is really to encourage voters, to let them understand about the importance of the US election, the ripple effect that those elections are going to have in the region, that those elections are going to have globally. And this is to really inform the American public that, excuse me, this is to inform the American public that they need to vote. Okay, it's important to vote. I still have a lot of people that I know who feel like their vote is not important, even when they're not really looking at Kamala Harris like she's a good catch, even when they are looking at it like, yeah, like I'm not really seeing what you're going to be doing. Still, they're not voting. It is important to vote, guys. If you're not voting, it's as if you're not contributing to the change that you want to see happen. Between you and I could have voted as well, right? My vote counts even when I'm not in the country. I could have still been eligible to vote. The only thing is that, believe it or not, I'm registered under the Democratic Party. So, just to change it and everything, I just didn't have the time to do so. So this is my way of giving that party, and mostly not even the party, but giving Trump my support, and making sure that people understand that their vote matters. You have to vote. It's important to vote. The United States is one of the only country in this world where you guys get to choose and get to put someone there, because even if they're talking globally about, or in many other countries, they're trying to talk about democracy. But even in the US, you guys understand, and I've talked to you regarding, like, there's really very little democracy over there. So let alone for countries like Haiti, when they just, they're letting you think that you are electing someone, and we all understand that it's not the truth. The only president here in Haiti who got democratically elected was Jean-Bertrand Aristide that I can think about. And then we understand how it went down. Anything else is just has been president that have been put there in power, but they're not, the people are not electing. So you have got to vote. It's important. If you are watching those lives, if you are paying attention to the information that I'm bringing out for you, and you still feel like your vote is not important, then don't cry Argentina when things are no longer going your way, and don't blame anyone but yourself, because voting is your right as a woman, as a man, as a eligibility. If you can vote, if you have the right to vote, you have got to get up and vote. It's important to vote. Even if you don't want to vote for Trump, hopefully you will. Hopefully you will. You can't. It's just, God, guys, trust me, I will do my best. So for tonight, the information, I actually was thinking a lot about, you know, the gravity, the complete gravity of the candidacy of Harris. I believe that I've shared with you before, and also with the ways that they just put her in, I let you in on the fact that these people are out to win. It's not really, they don't really care about the American people. I'm very sorry, they could care less about any of you. It's all about greed, it's all about money, it's all about what a win for them represents. Because weren't it so, they could have left the president there, right? And even with the president, let's be fairly honest, we all know and we all saw that that man could have not been there, but they still kept him there despite everything, right? So this is just to show you that these are people that are out to win by all means necessary. I am going to reiterate and continue to tell you this. Those elections are not elections that are simple. They are not elections that are kind of like easygoing. Those elections are elections that represent a lot, not only for the United States, but it represents a lot at a global level. Again, the United States is the only country where you guys, you, the American people, you, the American population as a whole, you get to vote, and you get to vote for the person that you want to represent your country globally. That is where I want to come for you. This is those elections. When you're thinking about voting, think about a country like Haiti. Think about the war that is currently going on in Ukraine. Think about all those issues that are around. Think about everything that I've said to you regarding the geopolitical fights that is presently going on. So the person that you are going to vote for has got to have the grit and the capability to represent your interest, not only in the country that you live, but that person has got to have the grit to represent your interests in front of all those other countries. Who are you going to elect? Whoever says Kamala Harris, says Hillary Clinton, says Barack Hussein Obama, says Bill Clinton, we all know their rep sheet. We all know what they've done in certain countries. We all have seen the and I'm so sorry, someone keeps writing to me. I'm so sorry. We all have seen exactly what they have contributed to. When I saw the Clintons at the RDNC, I just couldn't believe it. The convention that recently happened, and they were all there supporting Kamala Harris, I was like, oh my God. And it is a fight. So I can't really say that it's a win because now it's kind of like she's under their chaperone. So whoever is a pro Clinton is going to be a pro Harris. Unless the people who watch me, unless you guys have a mind of your own. Because hey, it could be that you supported Barack, but you're looking at this nominee and you're like, no, I'm not confident with her. I don't believe that she can run the country. I don't believe that she could do so, right? It could be that you supported even President Biden, but you're looking at her like, absolutely not. I do not believe. And we're going to take away those whole equation about her being a woman. And thankfully, I don't know if I'm mistaken, but I'm not seeing anywhere where they are pushing the agenda of her being the first woman to become a president. Because remember, with Hillary Clinton, that was the agenda. It was big, like the first woman to become president. But then again, she went against President Obama. But it's not even about who she went against. It's just a matter of who the institution wanted to see. That's just the way that it is. That's just the way that it plays out. And there's always the behind the scenes. So before they actually decided to put her in, trust and believe that they had to sit down with her. Oh my God, they keep taking the electricity and giving it back. So trust and believe that they had to sit down with her. Oh yes, this is how it happens. I'm pretty sure that the people who watch me are highly intelligent individuals and you understand that. So, nothing did these oh my goodness, I need to stop. I feel like I'm driving myself crazy. These are not times where it's kind of like it's like it's a whatever, it's a kumbaya time. No, it's not. Okay, they literally had to sit down with her, okay, before they decided to go with her. Trust that they had to sit down with her. It's a job. She understands why they want her there and what her role will be, and she's down for it. I mean, listen, even as a vice president, what has she accomplished? I keep asking that, and a lot of the people who are supposedly for her, you guys can't even tell me under the comments or something. You guys can't even sit with me and tell me what that woman has done as a vice president. I don't have any type of accomplishment for her. What has she done? Like, what kind of work has she done as a vice president? Right? And you are telling me that you guys are comfortable enough to have her as your president, understanding the global shift that this world is getting ready to have? Okay, let me get into the notes. So we do have some notes for tonight. And a video is going to come up this week. I'm going to do my best to put it out for you this week on my YouTube channel, DL Consulting Firm 83. This video, now for those of you who are not familiar with my videos, what I'm going to refer that you watch the video that I have on my channel regarding the UN agenda, decoding the United Nations agenda of 2030. Go listen to that video. It's a fairly short video. And then do listen to the video prior to that, which is in regard to the goals, like, sustainable development goals of the United Nations. I went in and I decoded some of these goals. So do watch and listen, pay close attention to that video because everything is tied in. It's tied in. So this particular work that I started to do this morning, I wanted to come here and show you what these people are getting ready to do as a whole If you guys are electing Kamala Harris, it's a done deal for you. Matter of fact, I do believe that I have this somewhere in this note where I wrote that the American population, the American people, if Kamala Harris gets elected, you may as well look for another country to go live. It's going to be a lot more beneficial for you. Trust and believe me. Trust me, guys. Listen, trust me. So I really am going to read some stuff for you and we're going to dissect. Okay. So I said that Kamala Harris, oh God, Kamala Harris, backed by the most notorious gang leaders of our century, Bill and Hillary Clinton, alongside their leech dog Barack Hussein Obama. Their agenda reinforcing the population control by supporting the United Nations Agenda of 2030. This administration already has the necessary funds ready to be dropped into countries like Haiti to fulfill their wicked plans. Continuing with their traffic of organs using seaport routes, transporting orphans, women, young men into countries for sex trafficking as well as organ transplant. What we understand is that the Biden administration, give me a second, the Biden administration is in accordance with the United Nations, supporting and collaborating with them in their upcoming Agenda 2030. Harris is nothing but a plant deposited and chosen to continue with their global machinery. All of these entities, including the European Union, the European Central Bank, the International Monetary Fund, are all collaborating to destroy developing countries. Pretty much, it's very straightforward, guys. This is exactly what these people are getting ready to do, right? So they are literally, the United Nations. They have their sustainable development goals for 2030. It's already in full effect. You have so many people, so many countries that are complying with those goals, and as an individuals, when you are living your day-to-day life, for people who probably will feel like, oh, this is really, it's like it's not going to affect me. I am very sorry to tell you that it is going to affect you. Further down, we're going to listen to the notes where I actually tell you that I speak a little bit about developing countries. I speak because I know that they have a lot of money ready in the back of those corridors, ready to be dropped in a country like Haiti, with a lot of fundings, a lot of programs getting ready to be put out that are going to be in compliance with the United Nations. Mes amis, listen, if you want to listen to me, it's up to you. I have absolutely no reason to lie to you. I'm just extremely alarmed because I did not see the New World Order like that. All I wanted was for the possibility for Haiti to be able to maneuver. But the way that these people had their foot on our neck, and with these guys here in Haiti who just are extremely incompetent, it was extremely difficult. So now, my only hope is to have Donald Trump become the president of this country, because I understand what a candidacy like Trump will represent globally. At least I will be able to breathe a little bit. At least. But if we have Harris as the president of the United States in 2024, moving in 2025, woo, Jesus, I do not know. I'm telling you, trust. You do not want to have that woman in power, because what they're ready, what I just mentioned to you, I do have a video on my YouTube page, YouTube channel. It is also here on Instagram. If you're listening to me here on Instagram, it is called The Big Business of Organ Trafficking. And I went deep in on it. It's a fairly short video, but it's very, very explanatory where I speak about this trafficking that's been going on forever. It's worldwide, but here in Haiti, it's big. It's not talked about, but it's very, very big. So many of our young people who got murdered, a lot of their organs got transplanted. A lot of them. What kind of route are they using? They are using sea lane route to transport those organs. They have access to boats and they have access to underground railroad um, that is allowing them to move in between countries like Jamaica, in between countries like Haiti. They do so through the Jamaica Channel Passage, which Haiti is connected with, and then they can use those routes and then they go to the United States. They do a lot of organ trafficking. They do a lot of sex trafficking with our youth and our children here. I know that I'm talking about topics that are sensitive and topics that are very, very high profile, but some of us have got to do the work, and I will be doing this work. Organ trafficking, it's a bigger trafficking these days. And all of those guys that I just mentioned to you, they are in on it. Bill and Hillary Clinton, number one people that are big time in on organ trafficking as well as sex trafficking, especially involving the country of Haiti. Trust me. Are those people the people that you want to see in power? Are those the same people that you guys want to see there? Let's continue. I say, in previous videos, we've analyzed their pathetic goal by the United Nations, which they refer to as Sustainable Development Goals. There are about 17 pathetic goals, but that they've created. Some of these goals are poverty, zero hunger, gender equality, affordable and clean energy, decent work and economic growth, industry, innovation and infrastructure, reduce inequality, peace, justice, and strong institution. The country of Haiti is a prime example of how those demonic entities are getting ready to enforce those goals. Don't worry, with the continuation of the same administration, you will soon see the United States becoming another blueprint for the SDG. Mhm. Gender equality, enforcing their demonic agenda of confusing children regarding their gender and encouraging weak-minded individuals to say things such as, I've always knew I was born in another body. Total BS. Goals number 1 and 2. No hunger and no poverty. How is that going under the Biden administration? I said, how are the states of Los Angeles, Chicago, New York City, Atlanta, Texas, to name just a few? How's the job market? The inflation, the cost of living. Most of the states will soon become projects based for the SDG, especially with such an afflux of immigrants. At this point, American citizens can look elsewhere to live a decent and comfortable life. Truth be told, these goals can each be analyzed and decoded toward every country. Just look into your country's economy in the last 5 years. Analyze the factors that have contributed to either the growth or the decline of the economy. Then you will be able to see how they are planning to implement those goes into your country. That's everywhere. So even if you're watching me and you're like in Africa, this is applicable to you as well. That is if the respective government hasn't already approved such agenda, which we talk about. I mentioned that to you. I told you that, it's we are in 2024 going into 2025. So a lot of these agenda is already in full effect. Countries have to approve them. So some of you have got to figure out if your government has approved. And yes, for IT, they have already. You know that. I said that the candidacy of Donald Trump will surely shift the paradigm of um, the candidacy of Donald Trump will surely shift the paradigm of things, beginning with the um, canceling any fund to developing nations, supporting any of those ridiculous goals by the United Nations, regulating border patrol, which at this point is almost impossible, and getting a grip of all those underhanded money. Now, I'm not finished, so I was working on that today. The video is going to come up. So, pretty much, it's pretty self explanatory to you guys what I am telling you. Okay. The UN, the European Union, all of these garbage, they're all working together. So, they always have some bullshit going on. When I talk about the money that is already there, you guys understand that IMF, which is the International Monetary Funds, always has monies for developing countries. They give you the money and they give you the projects that you need to run with that money. So it is not money that is even there for people who have organization who are doing groundwork and who are trying to really make a sense into their countries or their communities. No, this money, a lot of the times, those of us that are doing the groundwork or that are smaller organizations, a lot of those organizations do not ever see a dollar from the IMF, the European Central Bank, the United Nations. No, they tell you this is the project that we are going to do with that money, and that's it. They hire the people, and sometimes they hire, if they are hiring locals, it's at the very, very bottom. At this point, I feel like I know the whole process of organizations in international organizations like the back of my hands, because I've been fighting with them for the longest of time and I know how they operate. Are we here? When it comes to the country of Haiti, with this whole, and I think that I've mentioned that, I think it was at the beginning of the year. Before anybody starts commenting or just getting angry and doing the most, I need for you to understand that when it comes to your sexuality, you are free to do anything that you want to do. As long as you are a fully responsible adult, baby, kumbaya, YOLO, you do what you want in your sexuality. My issue is when people are trying to coerce the mind of children. When people have their own agenda behind a specific group of people that are homosexual or that have like a bisexuality, or maybe people who are truly trans, and now they are using those groups of people to further their own agenda. That's where my problem comes. A lot of the times, I do believe that even in the country like the United States, a lot of you guys can, people that are trans, people even that are homosexual, you suffer a lot. You suffer a lot of abuse. So imagine in a country like Haiti. Imagine in a country like Haiti. Now, what these people are getting ready to do is that the same blueprint that they've already implemented in your country, so I'm talking about in the country of the United States, where now, unless you really have the money and your children are attended private schools, they're not attending no charter or public school, you really don't have a say into how those schools are operating, because they have everywhere that it's a part of inclusion not to have gender. And it's part of the goal number 5 or 4 when it comes to gender equality. It is part of goal 5 from the Sustainable Development Goals of the UN. Are we here? So do we see when shit is happening and these people are coming up with this bullshit, they are not fabricating it. Like if you have your kids and you put your kids in school and the kids are coming up in institutions, schools are starting to regulate certain things, it's not their fault. These are shit that these people are writing at the top. And now they are literally dictating for people how to live their life, what to do with their lives. So now, because at the end of the day, when it comes to state school, when it comes to public school, they are receiving money from where? They are receiving money from the government. So if the government is saying, well, if we're going to give you the money, you guys are now going to have to put inclusion in terms of like gender equality everywhere in the school. I have many of my colleagues who have traveled to the United States and have gotten jobs inside the public schools in the US. And it's everywhere. In all classrooms, all you see are rainbow flags from small grades all to big grades. Children being confused about their gender. So, as a parent, you only have two choices: to pull your kids out of the school, homeschool them, which a lot of my friends have done, or what you could do is to put them in private school. Do you have the cash? But that's it. Because right now, anything that is government based, they're like, no. And it's the same thing that is getting ready to be here in Haiti. And it's going to get even worse because Haiti is one of the most unstructured place. I mean, Haitian people have become so opportunistic to many, many things that they literally don't care. You would have a married man telling you that he's a trend if he feels like there's money coming down and they are getting ready to put money out for a project for trends. Uh-huh. You will get a 50 plus year something, someone who has been married for 50 years, letting you know that, oh, you know what, actually, mm, come to think about it, I really feel like I was born to be a woman. Yeah, I've always felt like it. I've always felt like I was a woman. Yeah, I think I'm a trend. I'm not even trying to joke. I'm seriously not even trying to joke. I know this country like the back of my hands. These people are so ridiculous when it comes to money, when it comes to projects, when it comes to money that they know that is going to be available. And also, I know how your government operates. So I know that in the back of everything, they're literally also, um, there's a word that you say. It's kind of like when you're dangling a carrot in front of the rabbit, but they're telling these it people here in Haiti, do not worry. This is what we have going on. These are the projects that we have going on, and this is where the money is gonna come from. So you guys can have access to those monies. That is exactly what is getting ready to do if you guys are electing Kamala Harris as your next president. You're still going to have an Africa of immigrants. Matter of fact, like I said to you before, I would have now invited you to come to Haiti. But the reality is that if we have those people, that government in power, the whole gang is never going to go away in Haiti. It is going to remain here and it's going to be their way to trash Haiti. Because let's be really, really honest. It's been how many months since the Kenyan force has been here in Haiti, and still nothing. And still nothing. Matter of fact, these guys were out of equipment. The gangs had better equipment, but yet the United Nations requested that Kenya sent a troop to Haiti not so long ago, because when I was like I said to you guys before, I was very adamant. It was like a no for me. And so many people, because people have such, just, I don't understand like how people are not able to like think. And I was saying, no, the Kenyan people are getting ready to come down. We're gonna have a break. We're gonna be able to walk around. We're gonna be able to do this. We're gonna be able to do that. These people came and the kidnapping went high rocket. The insecurity went high rocket. They literally went into an entire neighborhood and continued to put people out. The only thing that I can tell you that is around my way, there's been a little bit of a quietness. But still, it's not like everything is still closed down. You still have a curfew as far as like when you can come in and when you can get out. So even if I wanted to like go out in the middle of the night and have fun, I literally would not be able to come back in my neighborhood because there are curfews. So that means that around my waist is still surrounded by a lot of gangs activities. Where are the Kenyan forces? So we here. So I'm pretty sure that you guys are starting to see, not even understand, but are starting to see one on one equals what. With everything that I've been saying and with the stance that I've been thinking, taking with putting information out for you to understand. So right now, what I'm forcing myself to do is to make sure that you guys are understanding how the candidacy of Trump, if he doesn't get in, you guys are screwed, and Haiti's gonna be screwed too. So that's why I'm fighting. You guys are screwed to the 10th degree, to the billions degree. You already have. When I talk about soon the US becoming another blueprint for the SDG, is because when you are going to take about some of those states that are really filled with immigrants, what do you have? When you have states that are not equipped to receive immigrants, for example, I'm following a lot of the news from Boston. Boston is the city where I lived in Massachusetts. I worked a lot in Boston. So Boston has an afflux of immigrants, but I'm looking at it like the states probably, it's the capacity, like they're looking at it like maybe they didn't have all the resource for these people. So automatically what you're going to have is that you're going to have a lot of those people getting into the bottom. So poverty, right? You're gonna have them go probably into welfare. You're gonna have them probably just like do anything if the resources are not there. That is, if they don't have the opportunity to get work, or if they have the opportunity to work, because I've shared with you before that at the end of the day, any business, they're hiring immigrants. It's more convenient for them. The immigrants will work for lesser and better. But now you still have those of you that are not even in the upper middle class, but kind of like those of you that were barely making ends meet. It's like it's dropping again. So they're not going to let you down. Don't worry about it. I don't believe so. But what I do believe is that I do believe that those wicked people, those wicked people, they have a plan. So a lot of those, because it's all about money. So if the United Nations, if the European Central Bank, if the IMF is giving money, they're gonna tap into that money. This shit is not only for Haiti. If they know that the money is there, if the states know that the IMF is getting ready to do money to this, to do this, money to do that, guess what? Your state is getting ready to be another formatting to receive those fundings. Oh my goodness. I feel like I've been just lecturing and teaching all summer long. Trump, hopefully you will see this. That's all I feel like I've been doing all summer long is decoding and making sure that you guys are understanding where these things are going. That's what's getting ready to happen. I went to LA. My first time going to LA was in 2017. It was through work opportunity. I stayed in Oakland and East Oakland, I believed. And it was beautiful. It was my first time visiting LA. I've only been in the East Coast. It was my first time going into the West Coast. And I was very, very surprised to see how big Ellie was and how it was sort of like breathable because Massachusetts has been under construction for the longest of time. And it's kind of like it's buildings after buildings after buildings after buildings. So when I got to LA, I was just like, it felt so different. You know, the houses were huge, like kind of like chateau, those big houses on top of the mountains. And it was the air was just very, very different as well. So I really enjoyed my time there, although it was only for a week and I was really working, so I didn't really get to visit LA as much. But I remember that they were driving with us, and then there's like a road that they took, and all I could see were people under tent. When I saw that, all I could see were people outside, just like when the earthquake hit Haiti. In Haiti, everybody was under the tent. That's how I saw that side of LA. And my jaw just dropped. I couldn't believe it. And you know, the people who were driving are from LA, so they are accustomed to it. They told me, yeah. They told me a lot of them are homeless people or working homeless people. So it's not like they're homeless and they're not working. A lot of them are working individuals, people who actually get up, go to work, but even with the work that they do, they still can't afford not even a one bedroom. They still can't afford it. You know what? I know the real deal about living in the US. It's not the easiest country, and it's gonna get worse. It's gonna get worse. What you guys are going to get subject to is gonna get worse because I do strongly believe that this administration, they have something else coming. And those states where they have a lot of immigrants that are not there, and I know that those immigrants people, especially from my culture, are a little bit kind of like on the like defensive side. They're looking at it like if Trump gets in power, he's going to depart the majority of the people, which we've already analyzed that a lot of those people who came, especially from Haiti, I've shared with you before that, in my opinion, the government, the US government, doesn't even have any numbers as far as like, you know, how many are even criminals. We've talked about that, so I'm not going to bring this here, but we've literally went in on that. So now, in my opinion, this is where I was doing the math and I said, no, they're not going to deport those people. These people are going to serve as their piggy bank. These people are going to serve as their guinea pig. So, and places and in states where it's like highly concentrated with immigrants, they're gonna turn those places as far as like into places to have different type of projects. They're gonna call them like state projects or government projects, but they're gonna have the fund and states are going to tap into those fundings, and it's all going to be under, in my opinion, of the UN Agenda 2030. Don't say that I did not warn you. That is what is getting ready to happen. So it's not only going to affect, I talk about developing countries because I'm here in Haiti, but it's going to affect you guys as well. So you have two choice. one of those choices is to vote, and to vote wisely, and to vote for Trump. I mean, I'm sorry, what can I say? You cannot vote for that woman. So that's the first choice that you have. The second choice that you have, if you're poor, is to figure out in those 2 months to make sure that you have someone who can support you into writing a resume or something, and making sure that you're getting a job that is going to give you the leverage of becoming at least a middle class person. Because right now, the only people that are going to be surviving Harris as a president is going to be a person who is rich, who already has the money. Those are the only people that are going to be able to survive. Any other person, you're not going to survive those 5 years with her. It's going to be a done deal. Like if you were like barely making ends meet, think about it like you're not going to make any ends meet. It's going to be done for you. I'm not joking. I'm very, very serious about what I'm saying. If you were barely making ends meet, baby, you're not going to make any ends meet. Your ends is not going to be meeting nothing. You're not going to be able to do that. It's going to be a done deal for you. So find a way in those 2 months' time. I mean, shit, join my accelerated class. I mean, I may as well just do a promotion for my class because I'll be doing the accelerated program. It's starting September 23rd. Come. It's all for entrepreneurs. I did a nice group. Trust me, I work really well. You're going to learn a lot. Join the class. Come. Because, babe, if you don't have a plan of attack to make sure that in those 2 months' time, when those elections are going, if it doesn't go in our way and you need to boss up, you gotta boss up. You gotta boss up. Anything that you do, you have to have the capability to make sure that you can earn potential from it. It's like you got to turn your skills, you got to turn yourself into a money magnet in order to be able to be at least in the upper middle class. Because if you're not there, and what I mean by being in the upper middle class is making enough money that you actually have residual, right? So it's kind of like you have a salary, a salary based work that you do, and even with the salary based work that you do, you're still able to have a decent saving from that salary over here. And then after that, you still have residual income, you still have other income, because these people do not know how to run shit. It's about to be hell if you cannot do that. Don't Maybe you want to get 2 or 3 jobs, I don't know, so now you're going to become a slave. You're going to work till the end of times. The other thing is, I could say leave the country. Get ready to leave the country. Yeah, do get ready to leave. Because what this is, I'm telling you, this is what they're getting ready to do. In all those different states where you have an Africa of immigrants, do not worry. They're not going to deport those immigrants. I was thinking about that. I'm like, no, they're too smart. Why would they deport immigrants? They're not going to deport them. The immigrants is actually benefiting them. It's better for them. But what they're going to do, they're going to turn those cities, those states, they're going to turn them into projects to tap into the monies that is coming here. The monies that the IMF is getting ready to give, the money that the European Central Bank is getting, like all type of money to the United Nations. Those states, or at the state, the government is going to have access to those money, and they're going to trickle it down for states, and even for themselves they're going to create programs. So it's the same bullshit for Haiti too. But since Haiti, it's kind of like these people always have to wait to get the bottom. So Haiti's gonna wait, and they're probably gonna give Haiti a little money too. But it's still gonna be to do what? It's gonna be to do what? It's gonna be to do their bidding. It's not gonna be money available here to, no, it's not gonna be that. It's gonna be like, okay, this is the money that we got going on, and this is what the money has is going to be doing. That's what these people are getting ready to do. This is short and sweet because I literally feel like my eyes are closing down. Okay. Um, the video is going to come up. I have a lot more information. When I talk about organ donors, when I talk about sex trafficking, it's all them. They are all a part of that. They tap into those things as well. They are all a part. They have a share in it. They have votes. Okay, the Clintons do. So it's kind of like it's just among them. Trust me about that. It's amongst them. So they have those boats. They use the boats to do those traffic because they don't want to get caught. Second, this is a route that is not open to everyone. If you're not a multi-dollar, like millionaire, like a billionaire, even so, they're not giving access to this route like that because guess what? It's not only there, those seaport routes, underground routes, it's not only there to transport those illicit activities, but it's also there so that they don't get caught. It's also there so that they don't pay any taxes on products as well. They don't pay any taxes. So this is for the people who knows about that. Because otherwise, even with the gun trafficking, you saw how much like a lot of times, they got busted. So with those organs, they're not trying that. It's big business, big money. And yes, the Clintons are very much so involved into that lucrative activities. You can tell them I say so. That's fine. They are very much involved into that. We know what the dirt that they do. And if they're not gonna, they'll pay eventually. They will pay. But anyways, guys, this was short and sweet. I will be back with you all. Maybe I don't know, maybe sometime next weekend. I'll try my hardest to be there with you next Saturday. But I just felt like I really had to come at least to put this information out, and I will work on the video for you guys. The video will probably come. I do have the first video that I need to put sometime this week. Definitely by Thursday, Friday, I'll have the video up for you. Do not worry about that. I know that voting is you never tell people who to vote for. It's kind of like it's very it's commonly infringing to someone's choice, is infringing to someone's kind of like their views. You should never tell people who to vote for. People should be free to vote for the candidate of their choice, but you're gonna have to vote for Trump. I'm very sorry about that. There's no other way. We're not having 5 years with Harris. It's a no. No, there's I'm very sorry that if I'm infringing, but I know what I'm talking about. If you want to have a decent life, vote for Trump. Trump 2024. I will see you guys next weekend. Thank you so much. I had nobody here tonight. I'm literally, my eyes are closing. But I just really felt like it was important to come and bring this information out. Thank you so much for everyone who's going to come back and who's going to watch this video.